Picture this. You walk into a home, there's cheap fixtures, shiny granite, and boob lights all over the place. I'm sorry, but you deserve better. Hi everybody, welcome back. If you don't know, my name is Cooper, and today we're going to be talking about how to transform your builder grade space into a custom looking home. So let's start with the basics, right? What even is a builder grade home? Builder grade basically means fast, cheap, and generic. These homes are built with mass market finishes that are meant to appeal to as many people as possible. Something that really indicates these homes to me is kind of a for-profit narrative. I think that a really great analogy for a builder grade home would be like the Sheen of design or the Temu of design. You know, brands like that prioritize profit over quality. So a lot of the times these homes tend to be worse quality and sometimes more affordable. I would definitely say that it depends on where you live, and that in itself is the issue. There's a lack of personality, there's no character, no thoughtfulness or intent behind the design. But trust me, if you live in one of these spaces, there's definitely ways to work around it. You just need to know what to change. Okay, so let's talk about some of the quick fixes that you can make to your builder grade space to make it feel more comfortable, elevated, and lived in. So one of the best things that you can do if you're in this situation is swap out the lighting. These builder grade homes are defined by boob lights or these really like globe looking lights that we see a lot in the boho aesthetic, and we need to say goodbye to those. I don't think a lot of people understand how easy it is to actually get a light switched out in your home. You can go on an app like TaskRabbit and pay like $40 to have somebody come and swap out a light fixture for you. It's really not that big of an expense, and it makes a huge difference. Opt for something structural, something warm, but most of all, something vintage. These homes are so new and so manufactured that they just lack any personality. And so one of the best light fixtures that you can install in these homes is a vintage light fixture. It'll make it feel a little bit more historic, and it'll just feel more cozy, and it'll feel like a home and not a sterile box. Something you can also do in regards to lighting is putting everything on a dimmer. Dimmers really make a big difference when it comes to the lighting in your space, because sometimes we need to use those overhead lights, but we don't need them to be at max capacity. We just need enough visibility to, see the cutting board while we're chopping up some onions for dinner. The next easy thing that you can do is paint. I understand that paint can be a little bit tricky because it does require a lot of labor. I don't think people understand how easy painting can actually be if you do the prep work. But painting is definitely the cheapest and most powerful tool you have. And I don't just mean painting the walls, right? Paint your trim, your doors, even your ceiling if you're feeling a little bold. Color drenching a room in one of these manufactured homes can instantly make it feel expensive. If you pick a nice, deep, rich jewel tone, it'll really help elevate things. Get rid of those white baseboards that you have through your whole house. We're leaving the white trim in 2012. The next easy swap that you can make is adding trim or architectural details. This is a little bit of a controversial topic because this can either go really well or really badly. And in a lot of instances, I've seen it go really badly. So definitely be careful here and be mindful. I would say this is something that you might want to have professionally done and something that you might want to opt for if you are a homeowner rather than a renter, because it is a little bit more permanent and a little bit more expensive. Builder grade homes are flat, literally. A lot of the times they won't come with any trim at all, or the trim that they come with will be really ugly. And by adding interesting crown molding, a chair rail, or even just thickening your baseboards, suddenly the room will start to feel more intentional. But please guys, do not cheap out on the trim. I would say do this if you have a little bit of a higher budget. And I wouldn't opt for anything that's too detailed in a builder grade home, just because those homes tend to be a little bit more simple in their architecture. The interiors should reflect that. So keep things simple, do clean lines and shapes if you're going to do trim inside. And if you have a modern house, do not add trim. Please do not add trim. I hate when modern homes have trim in them. It just looks so bad unless you can afford really fancy, recessed shadow baseboards. I do not want to see trim in your home. The next easy swap that you can make is changing your hardware. And I know you guys probably hear this quite a lot from so many different sources on the internet, but it really does make a big difference. But you do not need to be changing out your cheap hardware for cheap hardware. In all honesty, your kitchen and bathroom cabinet hardware is probably perfectly fine, but those matte black handles need to go. Throw them in the trash, swap them out for an unlacquered brass, a polished nickel, or even something ceramic. If you're on a higher budget, I would definitely opt for an unlacquered finish. And a little tip for people that are on a low budget, if you want to swap out your kitchen cabinetry hardware, you can swap it out for knobs instead of handles. Knobs tend to be a little bit cheaper and they'll look just as good in your home. For knobs, I would definitely recommend a more minimalist style polished nickel knob. And if you really want handles in your kitchen, I would definitely opt for something chrome or brushed silver. The last easy swap that you can make here is adding in some curtains or upgrading the ones in the space. A lot of builder grade homes tend to come with the most hideous curtains possible. They'll be kind of this curtain rung and rod situation that just looks so cheap and so ugly, and I don't even know why we do them because there's so many ways that will cost just as much or cheaper that look 1,000 times better. So I just don't get it. Number one, get rid of any curtain rungs or rods that you have in your house. What I always recommend for more builder grade spaces is doing floor to ceiling drapery on a track rail. This is what I have behind me in my own living room, and it just makes things feel so much more elegant and luxe and really grounds the space while also giving your ceiling some extra height. I had the same thing in my old apartment, which was extremely builder grade, and it really did make a huge difference. Hi everybody, I wanted to take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of today's video, COOHOM design software. COOHOM is an incredibly user-friendly design software that lets you take your ideas and actually put them into 3D. Whether you're trying to upgrade a builder grade home, reimagine your living room layout, or just to test out a new color palette or look in your space, COOHOM makes the process so much easier and way more fun. All you have to do is drag and drop the furniture, play around the finishes, and see exactly how you want your space to come together. This is something that I use with my own clients and my own business and my own personal space, so I can make informed financial decisions when it comes to the furniture that I do purchase. What I really love about COOHOM is that it's not just for professional designers. It's perfect for anyone who wants to achieve that designer look without all the guesswork that goes into it. If you've ever been unsure about whether your sofa will fit or if that wall color actually looks good with your floors, COOHOM will take out all that stress. So if you're ready to take your space from ordinary to extraordinary, I'll leave a link in my description for you guys to go check it out, and you can use code COOPERPLANTS for 73% off your subscription, which is a pretty major discount if you ask me. Trust me, once you start visualizing your home the way I do, you'll never go back. Thank you so much to COOHOM for sponsoring today's video. So you might be saying, Cooper, you just went through all of these different examples, but what should I prioritize if I'm on a budget? If you've only got a couple $100, I would definitely start with paint and lighting. These are definitely the two that'll make the most impact and will be a little bit cheaper than the rest. You can go down to your local secondhand store or Goodwill and find a couple lamps. As far as paint, you can find pretty affordable paint at Home Depot. People like to bash Home Depot's paint, I understand, but if you choose the right color, it can look really nice. If you've got a bit higher of a budget, I would definitely say adding in trim and new drapery is a great option for you. And if you really want to go all in on your home and this is a really long-term place for you, refacing the cabinetry in your kitchen can make a huge difference. Doing inset cabinetry can really separate a builder grade home from a custom looking one. Add in built-ins, layer in textiles, and replace your nasty kitchen sink with something that looks a little bit more high-end. Builder grade tends to strip all those things away, so it's definitely worthwhile in investing. These fixes focus on adding those layers back in, and that's what really makes a space feel elevated. So if you've been staring at your plain builder grade home, or you are stuck in a community where that's your only option and are wondering why it just feels off, hopefully now you know what to do. Let me know in the comments which one of these changes you'd like to try first, and if you want more design content like this to help you work around the issues that you might be having, definitely subscribe. You know, I post once a week every Sunday. If you're really struggling with a project, you can always hire me as your interior decorator. No matter how big or small your project is, I would absolutely love to help you. You know, check the description, send me an email, and we can get things started for you. I totally understand how difficult and long the process really is when designing a home. Asking for a little help along the way never hurts. I hope you guys are having a great day, whatever day you're watching this, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!